Hello to all. Welcome to Learn with DOZ. Today's lesson, we will be talking about emotional intelligence. For short, EI or EQ. EQ stands for emotional quotient. Our focus areas for today: the lesson objectives, definition of emotional intelligence, importance of emotional intelligence, categories of emotional intelligence, developing emotional intelligence, and assessment questions. So let's go into the lesson objectives for today. Our aim for today's lesson is to understand the meaning of emotional intelligence, outline the characteristics of emotional intelligence, and know the importance of emotional intelligence. So, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is your ability as an individual to be aware of news, understand, manage, and handle your emotions in a positive way or in positive ways to relieve stress. Not just only to be aware of your own emotions and how well you are able to manage and handle them, you should also be able to empathize with others. And you should also be able to recognize and respond appropriately to the emotions of others around you. When you do that, then we can say that you are being emotionally intelligent. So let me just read out the definitions I have for you. Emotional intelligence may be defined as the ability to be aware of, use, understand, manage, and handle emotions. In another way, we can say that emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and communicate effectively. Finally, emotional quotient identifies the degree to which individuals are able to recognize and control their own emotions, as well as to recognize and respond appropriately to the emotions of others. We know what emotional intelligence is. So why is it important for you to be emotionally intelligent? So the following are benefits of emotional intelligence to you as an individual. The first one we are going to look at is the social intelligence. What emotional intelligence does for you as an individual, it helps you to improve your interactions with others. That is your social interaction. You are able to be in tune with your emotions. You know very well as an individual that you are a social being. That means you have to be a relationship and you have to connect to those around you and to your environment. And emotional intelligence helps you to do that efficiently and to do it better. When you are emotionally intelligent, what happens is you are able to reduce stress and keep yourself happy and at peace, because you know how to manage, control, and you are in charge of your emotion or emotions. The second benefit or importance of emotional intelligence is success. Emotional intelligence helps to strengthen and keep you motivated. Motivation is very crucial for your success journey. And when you are emotionally intelligent, what happens is you are strengthened and you are always motivated. And when you are motivated, you are able to keep procrastination at its minimal, and your self-confidence increases. When you are confident within yourself, you can produce more. You are able to achieve more, and you are able to impact more. Emotional intelligence assists you in overcoming obstacles and living life in an optimistic manner. You are always positive. You are able to overcome every obstacles because you are in control of your emotion. You are able to identify your emotion, and you are also able to understand the emotions of others around you. The next is we'll look at relationship. Emotional intelligence is important because it helps you with relationships. When you understand your emotions and you are able to control them or keep them in check, this will help you to understand those around you in a more better sense. You'll be able to empathize with them. And when you are empathetic to them, you've built a very strong relationship with them, because you are now trying to understand where they are coming from and trying to put yourself in their shoes. And when you are able to show people empathy, this allows you to communicate with them better, and you can also forge a stronger and a healthier relationship with them. Lastly, we are looking at health. Emotional intelligence is important for both your physical and your mental health. So how is it important to your physical health? If you are an individual or you are a person that finds it very difficult to control your emotions or to even accept your emotions, it leads to stress. And stress is the underlying cause of many illnesses, such as high blood pressure, suppression of your immune system occurs because of stress. And when this happens, other health related issues, you become vulnerable to them. So you have to understand that in order to improve your emotional intelligence, you have to learn how to manage your stress and your stress level very well. When your stress level is managed appropriately, what happens is you are able to prevent illnesses related to negative stress and burnout. There is this common saying common saying that prevention is better than cure. So let's prevent stress now. Then we look at how it affects or is important. Emotional intelligence is important to your mental health. First of all, you have to understand that when you are mentally unhealthy, you are more vulnerable, exposed to depression and anxiety. When you are unable to control your emotions and stress, your mental health become badly affected. So it is very key or paramount to understand that your inability to understand and be comfortable with your emotions and knowing how to manage them well will affect the quality of your relationships. If you are not able to keep your emotion in check, if you are not able to keep your stress level down, you're always going to have issue with your relationships, whether at work, at home, in social gatherings. And when your relationship is not going well, it's not working as they should, what happens is you are likely to feel isolated and lonely, and this may worsen your mental health. So that's the last importance of emotional intelligence. So now let's look at the various categories of emotional intelligence. The first category we'll be looking at is self-awareness. If we say self-awareness, we are looking at your ability to recognize your emotions as they happen. This is very key if you need to be a person in charge of your emotion, or a person that is emotionally intelligent. You have to be able to recognize your emotions as when they happen. In order for you to develop self-awareness as a person, which is one of the category of emotional intelligence, you have to turn into your true feelings. Turning into your true feeling, what I'm trying to say here is you have to allow yourself to feel what you are feeling. You have to allow the feeling to flow, if I can use that word. If you allow the feeling to flow, you'll be able to assess your emotions, and managing them become possible. If you are in denial of how you are feeling, probably you are happy, you don't want to accept that you are happy. You are sad, you don't want to accept that you are sad. It becomes very difficult to manage the emotion, because you have to accept it, you have to allow it to flow, and then you can be able to assess why you are feeling that way. It will help you in managing it. So 2 elements of self-awareness we'll be looking at is emotional awareness. You have to perceive or recognize your own emotions and their effects. You have to know how you are feeling and know how that is affecting you, your work, and those around you. Secondly, self-confidence. You have to be sure of your self-worth and capabilities. a lot of us, or many people out there, are not convinced about their self-worth. And the danger of this is, if you are not convinced of your self-worth and you don't put value on yourself, others will take advantage of you. You won't have the motivation to go after things you want, and you start doubting your own capabilities. So it's very important to have self-confidence and believe in yourself and your worth. Next, we are looking at empathy. Empathy basically is your ability to recognize how people are feeling and your ability to put yourself in their shoes. This is very essential for success in your life and career. You don't have to actually feel what they are feeling 100%, but you should try to understand them. You should try to appreciate what they are going through. Having empathy helps you to develop others, understand, and serve them better. When you are able to empathize with people, put yourself in their shoes, understand their emotions and what they are going through, what happens is you are able to develop them because you know what to tell them, you know how to help them. You are able to understand them, and you can be of a better service to them. Next, we'll look at self-regulation. Self-regulation basically is you being able to control your own emotion. Not just your emotions, but your thoughts in pursuit of long-term goals. Because if you are unable to control your emotions and your thoughts, you miss out on a lot of opportunities. And in the long run, you achieve lesser than you should because you were emotionally not intelligent. In respect to EQ or emotional quotient, self-awareness has to do with an individual's ability to manage impulses and disruptive emotion or emotions. In other words, to think before acting. How many of us have acted before thinking? I am a victim of that. Sometimes I act, then I start thinking about the actions. And when you do this, if you act before thinking, you live in regret because you notice that you overreacted, you made the wrong decision, and you did what you shouldn't have done. But what emotional intelligence requires you to do is, before you do anything, think through it. Know the pros and the cons. Know the impact of what you are about to do. And then weigh the advantages and the disadvantages. But you can only do that if you are able to manage and control your emotions. Because when you allow anger, resentment, frustration to get the better of you, it becomes virtually impossible to think before acting. Now let's move on to the next one, motivation. This aspect of a set of emotional intelligence require you as an individual to personally drive to commit to your goals. Because if you are motivated, you have this drive in you to be committed to your goals, to be committed to initiatives. It means that you are ready to act on every given opportunity. You have this hunger in you to achieve your goals. Not just that, when you are motivated, you are resilient. It means that you are not giving up. You are very optimistic, that you are going to be positive all the time when it comes to achieving your goals. No matter the setbacks or the obstacles, you want to persevere. So, emotional intelligence involves all that I've just explained. So now we know the category of emotional intelligence and what emotional intelligence is. Then the most important aspect, or one of the most important aspects, is how do you develop emotional intelligence? How do you develop it? First of all, you have to recognize or identify your emotions and name them. As I said earlier, when you are happy, recognize or identify that you are happy and say to yourself, I am happy. If you are depressed, recognize and say, I feel depressed, and name it. Because when you are able to recognize it and name it, it becomes very easy to manage it. It becomes very easy to subdue it. Second, you have to take responsibility for your actions or emotions. Emotionally intelligent people do not blame people for their actions or situations or events for their actions or their emotions. They are willing to take full responsibility. The blame game is not something they encourage. So if you want to be part of those category of people who are emotionally intelligent, learn to take responsibility on your actions and your emotions. Thirdly, do self-introspection regularly. Self-examination. Every day ask yourself, how am I feeling today? Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? Why did I react that way? What did I say? What did I talk to him or her in that manner? When you are able to examine yourself regularly, it helps you to keep your emotions in check and you become emotionally intelligent. Be aware of your environment. Many people are not conscious of their environment, so they behave inappropriately. But emotionally intelligent people are very much conscious 24/7 about their environment, because this helps you to behave accordingly. Recognize how others feel, showing empathy. Do not be insensitive or indifferent to the feeling of others. That's one of the ways of developing emotional intelligence. Emotionally intelligent people are not insensitive or indifferent or aloof to the feelings of others. This leads to the next point. You have to show empathy. If you're empathetic to others, as we said, it fosters a very good relationship with them. Now, let's look at the assessment questions for today. Define emotional intelligence Examine the categories of emotional intelligence and why is emotional intelligence important. Wow, we have finally come to the end of today's lesson. Thank you for watching and sticking around. If this video has been helpful to you, I'll kindly request you to share, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we post new video on here. And please, you can send in your assessment questions, answers in the comment section. I will see you in our next video. Bye.